Hello and welcome. If you've ever just wanted to enjoy a peaceful walk through downtown Greenville, or maybe have friends over without your dog going completely bonkers, then you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're putting together a complete guide to finding the best dog trainer for you and your dog right here in town.
So let's picture a pretty common Greenville scene, right? You're maybe trying to cross Leash Street and a big farm truck rumbles by. A well-behaved dog that isn't pulling you into traffic or lunging at every little distraction, well, that makes these everyday moments so much better. And the right training is exactly how you get there.
So, we've broken this down into 4 key parts to make it super clear. First, we'll talk about what to look for in a great trainer. Then, we'll get into the different training formats and what they cost. After that, we'll cover how to check out your top choices, and we'll wrap up with some Greenville-specific rules and resources.
Okay, first things first. Let's cover the absolute must-haves. These are the foundational things you should be looking for in any professional trainer to make sure you and your dog are starting off on the right foot.
You'll hear this term a lot, and for good reason. The most effective and, frankly, most humane trainers today use a method called positive reinforcement. It's really just a science-backed way of saying we reward the behaviors we want to see. This makes learning fun and something your dog wants to do, which builds a really strong, trusting relationship. That's the secret to results that actually stick.
And this right here shows you the huge difference in approaches. When you use reward-based methods, you get a confident dog who's easier to handle in public, which helps you follow local leash laws and be a good neighbor. On the flip side, methods that use fear or pain, they can create anxiety and even aggression. For the safety and peace of everyone here in Greenville, the humane approach is always the way to go.
So a good philosophy is one thing, but you also want to look for some real credentials. Professional certifications are a good sign that a trainer has actually put in the work to get educated and has met a certain standard of knowledge and skill.
Yeah, here's that alphabet soup you'll probably see after a trainer's name. It might look a little confusing, but those letters tell you something. A CPD-TKA, for example, has proven they know their stuff for general obedience. But if you're dealing with something more complex, like serious anxiety, you might want to look for a specialist like a CBC-CKA. Don't ever hesitate to ask a potential trainer what their credentials mean.
All right, so now that you know what you're looking for in a professional, let's talk about the practical stuff. We're going to go through the different ways training is offered and what you should probably expect to budget for it here in the Greenville area.
Group classes are a really popular choice, and they're great. They give you a controlled setting to practice things like polite greetings or just focusing on you when there are other dogs and people around. They're especially good for getting puppies socialized.
But, what if your biggest headaches are happening right at home, like your dog jumping all over guests or barking at every dog that walks past your window? That's when private in-home lessons can be amazing because you're tackling the problem right where it actually happens.
And then there's board and train. For more serious behavior issues, or maybe if your schedule is just packed, these programs offer a really immersive experience. The trainer lays a solid foundation, but you have to remember, your involvement in the follow-up training is absolutely critical to make sure those new skills stick around for the long haul.
Okay, let's talk about the investment. This table gives you a pretty clear idea of the typical cost for different training services right here in Greenville and the rest of Hunt County for 2025. You can see there are definitely options out there to fit different budgets and different needs. All right, so once you've narrowed it down to a few potential trainers, it's time to do your homework. Think of the consultation as your chance to interview them and really find the best possible fit. This checklist is your best friend during that consultation. You want to use this time to get clear answers about their methods, their qualifications, and how they'll create a plan specifically for you and your dog. And asking how you'll measure progress, that's a great question to make sure everyone is on the same page about what success looks like.
Awesome training doesn't just stay in the training session, it has to work out in the real world, right? So to be a responsible dog owner here in Greenville, you need to know the local rules and, of course, where you can go to practice your dog's new skills.
Here's a simple but super important local rule. In any public space in the city of Greenville, your leash has to be 6 feet long or shorter. This means those long, retractable leashes usually aren't the best choice for city parks or walking downtown.
And here are a few other key things to keep in mind. A current rabies vaccination isn't just a good idea, it's required by Texas law, and that tag needs to be on your dog's collar. It's also good to know that excessive barking can actually be considered a legal nuisance. This is another area where a good trainer can really help you figure out the root cause, like maybe boredom or anxiety.
Now for the fun part. You can put all this great training to use at some awesome local spots.
Graham Park is perfect for practicing loose leash walking in a big open area. The trails at Wright Park are fantastic for working on focus with all the new smells and sounds. And for a bigger challenge, the downtown square is a great spot to practice calm behavior. Maybe try it during a quieter time of day first. When it comes right down to it, picking the right trainer is really just the first step toward enjoying everything Greenville has to offer with your dog. It's about being able to have these simple, nice moments, knowing your dog is a happy, confident, and well-behaved member of the family.
We really wish you the best of luck in your search. All the work you're putting in now is going to pay off in so many ways. It'll strengthen the bond you have with your dog and make every walk through the neighborhood, every visit from friends, and every quiet evening at home that much more peaceful and enjoyable.